Welcome back to the Dex and Randi Show, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. You're coming up next. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dex and Randi Show. I'm your host, Dex. As always, I'm happy, excited to have you guys back here with us for another episode. This is the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. We talk about everything real about life on here. But before I get into any of that today, what's up, babe? How's my co-host doing today?
Hello, everyone. I'm Randy, the co host of the Dex and Randy Show. I had to
I
consciously.
know. I saw it like last time. You know what I mean? We still refer to the old podcast name. You know what I mean? But we rebranded everything, and it's all part of us just following. I would
Mhm.
say a vision, a mission, but it's definitely God's mission. You know what I'm saying? Like making us adjust, and so I'm glad you got it right today. That's
Thank
what's up.
you. Thank
How you
you.
doing? You look beautiful. You know what I mean? You got on a nice little white satin type shirt with the little gold buckle like around the shoulders and the gold earrings and everything. Like you know what I mean? Like all
Oh,
that.
thank you.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Hey,
How's your week? How's life? How's everything doing? Before we jump into everything, like how's everything going?
it's good. It's good. It's been a productive week. I've checked a lot of stuff off my to do list, which makes me happy. Had some work done in the house.
Was it one to do list? Because you know you like to keep about five or six.
It was multiple.
It was multiple.
I checked multiple things off of my multiple to do list.
That's what's up.
So I'm feeling real accomplished right now.
I'm
I
glad.
did something different. I don't know if I shared this with you, but I made a schedule for myself.
No, I ain't heard nothing about this. But go ahead. You made a schedule,
I
but
made a
what?
schedule like an outline of what time I ideally want to complete certain tasks. So
What made you do that?
I need more structure and more discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do something about it. And I'm like, okay, what does that look like in my life?
Mm-hmm.
Let me draw it out because I keep a lot of things in my mind and I can really see what what I'm working on and I can, it's nice to write things down so you can see in a different way so it's not just all in your head.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that's what I did I started last week. I think I sat down on Sunday and just started going through how I want my week to look.
Was you feeling like overwhelmed or something? You had to do something, or you just wanted to just make it better?
Well, I know that I hadn't been having the quiet time with the Lord like I
Mm-hmm.
should.
Right.
And I felt like I was just so busy, but ideally it should be the most important thing. It is the most important thing, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
always make it the most important thing.
I feel you.
So I'm like, I need to be really intentional about my quiet time and what does that look like.
Right, right.
So, but it's not I mean sometimes it's early and like if I'm up at 3 a.m. or something, I will spend time with him, but sometimes it's not ideally first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel you. Hey, one of the things we've been doing though, which I think has been good because we actually purchased this program. We talked about it in our investing season part one, but we hadn't really got into it, which was the whole David Shan's podcast program. I'm forgetting the name and everything.
seven figure podcast.
Thank you very much. Got it. You know what I mean? But off the break, I want to say one of the things that we have been doing, which is good, is actually listening to the content. You know what I mean? Trying to
Hmm.
see where to apply it and all of that. And I say that because one of the things that I listened to recently, right, which was talking about like who's your target audience and like what is your message and everything. And I talk about like with us being like the ups and downs of life, but like who do we really want to relate to, right? And I started thinking
Hmm.
about that, and I was like, the whole thing with the Dex and Randy show and the ups and downs of life is literally us. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk to more people like us. And then I started thinking about what is that? What does that mean? You know what I mean? Like who are we? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And like we are friends. You know what I mean? The basis of everything, we're friends. We're friends that grew into being more than friends. You know what I'm saying? And people's probably been on that path before. And we're also going to get married. You know what I mean? We're also going to have a family. We're going on to make money together. You know what I mean? We're going on to have businesses together. You know what I'm saying? And through all of that, we're going through ups and downs all the time. So I was like, well, who do I really want to reach? I want to reach people that really want more out of their lives. You know what I'm saying? And living life and partnering with somebody, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a business, you know what I'm saying? But you're not out there just trying to do the bare minimum. Like you really want to do something big with your life. That's who I really want to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, as you listen to our podcast and we talk about the ups and downs of life, like we're talking to people that are really out there trying to do something with their life. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And really trying to make something happen for themselves, for their family, for their loved ones. You know what I mean? For the wife, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. We're
Yeah.
talking to them people.
The people that have something inside of them that they know makes them special, makes
Facts.
them different,
Right.
makes them dream bigger than everyone around them.
Yeah. So I brought that up because I'm glad, like, I was listening to that because, yeah, we talk about the ups and downs of life on our podcast, but we're not just aimlessly talking to anybody out there about the ups and downs. Like, you could be doing nothing with your life and be going through a positive or negative time. I'm not really talking to you. I'm talking to people like us that's trying to do a lot in this thing called life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the way that we do that, if you listen to our podcast for the first time, we tell our stories. We talk about our life. You know what I mean? As we're doing all of these things, being married, having kids, making money. That's how we share with people. You know what I'm saying? But that was a good little jam I got because I like to keep things somewhat general, but I had to really think like who am I really wanting to talk to?
Mhm.
And I want to talk to people like that. And that's who our message is for, like how to go through those things as you're trying to make yourself better. Because that's what we're trying to do. That's how we got in here.
Right.
Like we ain't even ever thought we was gonna be no podcasters, but as we're trying to make ourselves better and share what we believe is amazing about us, we need a platform to do that. You know what I'm saying? And now we
Mhm.
got that. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
dope. The other thing that and I won't stay on this too long. But the other thing that I've been getting from listening to that podcast material, and I keep forgetting what
Seven figure
7 Figure
podcast.
podcast, my bad,
Pat
bro.
podcast.
Listen, is like how intentional you have to be about what you're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how intentional you have to be out there to get it out there and be consistent with it. And I feel like the word consistency has been a thing that's been coming up a
Mhm.
lot in my life lately anyway. But you really have to like be deliberate in what you're trying to do. Like you could just sit down and record all day, but like it's important for your message to be out there,
Mhm.
what you feel and what you're trying to do. Like that's the most important thing. Everything else is gonna come afterwards, but you gotta be like deliberate with it. You know
That
what I'm
you know
saying?
what that warms my little heart
What do you mean?
to
It's so
hear you say
serious.
that. No, because it just you've changed.
You think so?
Yeah, because before it was we're just going to release episodes and
Nah,
see
but
what
but
happened.
that ain't it.
And I've been trying to communicate for a while like we need a plan, we need to
Nah,
figure it out
you're
and
right.
I'm happy that you can see cuz I didn't know exactly what I was trying to get across. I
Yeah,
wasn't cuz it wasn't clear to me, but I knew that we needed to do something.
of
And for you
course.
to say what you're saying, it just brings me such joy.
Hey, well, you know what I mean. It had me thinking like, and again, with the 7 Figure podcast, what I would say is that there's a lot of material in it, and I think everybody that uses it is gonna find different pieces that probably resonate with them. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? But it resonated to me in a way where it's like I'm doing something that I never thought I was gonna do, you know. And I got this from a message, a mix of like your mama, my prior family members. We're me and you talking for hours outside about we got to do something. Like we're always talking about all these things. So I got pulled into this podcast. To be honest, what talked about like I feel like I got pulled into this, but why get pulled into something from a message that's greater or like a force that's greater and not even go back and try to figure out, all right, well, what am I supposed to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Like God's
Mhm.
sitting there and saying, look, you got something to share. Well, go back to him and be like, well, what am I supposed to be sharing? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like I've been doing that more lately. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I look forward to finishing the material with you and everything like
Yeah.
that. But I'm come a long way in my life, you know what I'm saying? And it's a moment in my life that I always look back where I was sitting around and laying on my stepmama's couch and I ain't had no money in my pocket, nothing. and I was struggling. You know what I mean? I remember her she came to me and just started hitting me with all these pillars when I was laying on the couch, like out of nowhere, like just started hitting me, and basically started screaming at me about like how I ain't doing nothing with my life and how I'm so much better and that I shouldn't be where I was at. And you know what I mean? And now when I look at a moment like that and where I am now and everything I'm did to like put things together, it's just like I have to share that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've did it. I've been down and out. I've been racking up debt because I didn't even have a way to support myself. I've been walking around my country lost, not knowing what I'm doing in between multiple relationships, drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like literally not doing nothing with my day.
Mm,
But now look at where I am now. You know what I'm saying? I have to share that. I have to be transparent about that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Your
So
your stepmother is the real one.
yeah, for
And she
sure.
called me yesterday too.
All right.
And we could talk about this later,
Nah, go
but
ahead.
you know your mom is back in the country and
Mm-hmm.
she's looking out for her. So she came up with a plan to help her with some natural treatments, and she asked me to share that with you today.
Okay.
So this is a consultation with like a holistic doctor,
Oh,
and
all
she
right.
wanted to get your approval and get a payment as well.
A
Cause
holistic doctor for
she's
like
gonna take your mother.
to this person.
Hmm.
Oh, all right.
She
That's what's up.
said, yeah, she said that he looked at your mom and was like, she's depleted, like she needs nutrients and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So I said, well, I'll run it by him. I said, I don't think he'll have a problem with that, but the type of woman that she is, it's like you be looking out.
Yeah, she do. She do. You know what I mean?
And you tell the truth.
Yeah. You know what? I tell you, like, you know what? You know what's a good way to describe it? Like, as we're talking about it, and relate this to people, like you always need somebody that can kind of see you for for what you are. You know what I mean? And if you got somebody like that in your life, you got to be happy about that. And I think what my stepmama's always gave me, probably more than any other person, is like she always was able to like pinpoint what I really am. You know what I'm saying?
Versus
Like
what you're trying to
what I'm
portray.
trying to portray. She would like literally be able to pinpoint what I really am or how I really feel. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give you an example. Like I might come see my daddy, hang out with him or whatever. We go fishing maybe one time or go do some riding around in the truck or whatever. And she'll ask me every once in a while. She'll be like, well, how you feel? Like, and I'll be like, oh no, I'm good. You know what I mean? And she'd always tell me, like, nah, you're not good. You need to go tell your daddy how you feel. She used to say stuff. You need to go tell your daddy how you feel about the fact that you didn't get to spend a lot of time with him. You need to go tell him how you feel. Like, stop protecting him. Little stuff like that. And I was too young to appreciate it until the day that I had to go do it. But she would say, nah, you need to go say how you feel. You're not cool with that. You know what I mean? I would come back from school and I have a good job and everything, and I'm talking to people about what I'm doing, and she'd be like, well, what are you gonna do with it? Like you're talking a real good thing. Like she said it to me one time. She's like, "You talking a real good game, but like, what are you about to do with your career? What are you about to do?" You know what I'm saying? It's like she could always see that. Nah, you're not
You ain't about
maximizing. Yeah,
nothing.
you ain't. You are, but you're not.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? The way she say it sometimes be a little. You know what I mean? The way she say it be a little. But that's what she's brought to my life. And now that I'm older, we could sit down and talk for hours about real conversations. And I don't take the same offense that I used to take when I was younger because I've turned the page and that person that could see me for who I am, good and bad, now I love them and embrace them versus pushing them away because they see the bad in
Now
me.
you don't know what you're talking
But
about.
that's what a lot of times that's what we do. You know what I mean? We like to have a lot of yes men. But all of us like to be praised. All of us like people to say the good things about us. You know what I'm saying? Then when you got that one friend that really knows you, that might be able to say like, you ain't really about what you're saying or whatever. You got a choice to make. You could push them away, or you could bring them closer. But if you bring them closer, they make you better over time. But you push them away because they're highlighting that thing that you want to hide or that you want to mask. And I could never really mask anything with her. You know what I'm saying? So I always appreciate. I love her for that because I could never mask anything, and
Mhm.
she always found a way to kind of see through that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The other thing, I'm giving my stepmama love today, but the other thing I would say, is you don't really know how relationships are gonna turn out in your life. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes somebody could be introduced to you in a way that might not be ideal, but God's working behind the scenes to give you exactly what you needed. You know what I'm saying? So like me, this person I'm talking about, and my thankfulness for what they bring me came out of a situation where my parents getting divorced. You know what I'm saying? Came out of a situation where she was supposed to be old bed for me, old bed to me. The reason why all of the good in my life weren't working or wasn't gonna happen anymore. You know what I'm saying? And whatever happened, things happen. Adults, a lot of times adults making decisions all the time and the kids end up getting impacted by that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, here it is at 12 years old, my parents get divorced. All of a sudden I got this new lady living in the house that I used to grow up in with my mom and my daddy. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden I'm getting told I gotta call her auntie and stuff like that. You know what I mean? All of a sudden I got another kid living in my house in the same bedroom I used to live in. Now it's not my bedroom anymore. It's a shared bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And I was sitting there just like angry, hurt and angry. You know what I'm saying? Through that whole thing. And all of a sudden, like I was always the star, and then I felt like all of a sudden I was like the co-star. And it's hard to deal with that. That was so hard to deal with because it was like, dang, what happened? You know what I'm saying? And the only way that I knew how to deal with it was to push out in anger. You know what I'm saying? I had a perception of how I should look at this person because of everything they took away from me. You know what I'm saying? But here it is. I'm looking back now and how life is going and thinking about everything that they gave to me. And that's why when you're living your life and you're going through ups and downs and stuff, you got to know that it's a bigger orchestrator on top of you. That's the Lord. He's doing things in a way that you could never understand. Ever. His putting little pieces together. You know what I'm saying? Because my parents could have stayed together forever, maybe. And maybe my daddy and my mama might have not been the person to like call me out on my BS sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was only gonna be her. Who knows? You know what I mean? So you take the good and bad out of things. You know what I'm saying? But as I think about that, and I'll wrap it up there because I'm gonna talk about her all day. It sounds like it. But you, my point is like, man, you have that person. If you're lucky enough to have that person where they say something to you and you walk away and it touches that spot that you've been trying to hide, trying to camouflage, trying to keep on the low, don't push them away. You know what I'm saying? That person's there for a reason. They're gonna make you better. And most people that try to make you better is gonna get uncomfortable. And they're gonna make you uncomfortable. But you're uncomfortable because the comfort level that you've been at is where it keeps you where you're at. So how do you get better? Somebody got to shake it up, make it uncomfortable for you. And I tell you, moms, you made it uncomfortable for me a lot of times, but I love you for that. So I'm gonna let you know that. You know what I mean? Thank you for making me uncomfortable and shaking things up in my life at certain points to let me know that I could be better than what I was being. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for that, amongst many things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I appreciate you for that. When it comes to being uncomfortable, real quick, as we have been investing in ourselves, you know what I mean? One of the things I've been uncomfortable with is personal training. You know what I'm saying? And everything that's had to come out of that. That's been hard, even though it's only been 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? But before I jump in all that, what do you think? Me and you are both quote unquote the fit couple now, according to
Oh
the
my
guy at the
goodness.
gym. You know what I'm saying? But talk a little bit about us, what we're doing and investing in our health and everything in a I would say in a real way because we talked about it on the podcast before. about we gotta work out. But like
We always
I think
talking about
right,
it.
but just back to my stepmama's like we kind of calling. I think you're calling us on our own BS per se
Mhm.
about working out and stuff, and like we ain't doing it at the optimum level. So like, what decision did you make for us? I would say recently that, and how you think is going with us like personal training and both of us in the gym, our daughters in the gym. How you think it's been so far? At least for you, what's it
When
been
you say
like?
what decision, what are you referring to?
All this money that we're paying
Oh.
for personal training. I could just say it. All this money.
Oh,
All
yeah.
this money that we're paying to do it that way. We're not at him with the YouTube on anymore trying to do that.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to do things right. I want to know how to use equipment. I want to make a lifestyle change. I feel like I've said it so many times before, but now it's like just do. So we have memberships for the boys, for the youngest two at the kids club now. So we pay for that so that there's really no excuse. Like we can't say, "Oh, we don't have a babysitter." They can go right to the kids club and they love it. So yeah, that's it.
The kid hey, but the thing with the kids club is nice that they had that because now it's turning a little bit into like a family thing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And you guys might be at home, you got a family or whatever, and you gotta work. It's so hard to find time to like be with yourself and your family members in a real way. Not like you're doing this, you're doing that, but like actually spending time together, connecting, that kind of thing. And what I would say is that the other day I went to go to the gym, right? Personal trainer, I had an appointment. And as soon as I was about to go out the door, I told Caleb, I said, look, mom will be here real soon. I'm about to go to the gym. He jumped up real fast. He was like, can I go? Can I go? And I was like, I don't have that part on my membership or whatever, but I talked to you and I said, well, I'll try it. You know what I mean? And seeing the way he lit up to go to the kids club and go with me, we walked in. I took him to the kids club. He went off right away, playing with everything. The people at the gym knew his name already. They remembered him. And
Mhm.
I'm sitting there like, I'm taking him away from the TV for a little while
Mhm.
and putting him around other kids at the gym and he's loving it and he's going to work out with his daddy. Then after the workout, when we left, your boy touched my stomach. Your boy touched my stomach and was like, it looks a little less puffy. You know what I'm saying? It probably didn't. You know what I mean? But my thing is like I like what we're doing and how it's gonna make the experiences for everybody better.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah, cuz
saying?
even Kobe, he lights up and
Yeah,
he's not even talking.
I know.
But you walk in there, he's going right into the
He
kids
loves it.
club,
He just
running
runs.
inside.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
it is. I appreciate you for doing that, man.
Yeah, but that was also a reason why I made a little schedule
To make sure you could get
to make
that
sure I
done.
can get it in. And it's like no more excuses. Like I'm calling us out on our BS.
Hmm.
And then also the one thing that we have to conquer is the diet.
It's so hard, man. That's
So
the hardest part. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But they said it from the beginning, like
it's holding us like that's
that's the
holding us
part that's
back.
gonna hold you back is the diet. You know what I mean?
Do
What?
you think
Go ahead.
that there is a spiritual component to that? Like
Mm,
to the, I mean, I don't want to say gluttony, but could it be?
I don't know what you mean. Like a spiritual connection to what food?
Hmm.
I mean, I
Because
don't
I'm
know.
like,
I
when I
believe
think
spirits are
about,
in everything. Like,
yeah, when I think about my life, I feel like I've been struggling with
mm,
diet my whole life. And when I look at my family, I'm like, I think we all might have a struggle there. I don't know if it's generational, but
I
I
mean,
don't
good
know.
food is good food. You know what I mean? Too.
Yeah.
But the guy said it like he said that most of us out here in America like overweight and like so when you look around and
Oh
you look
yeah,
at your
he.
peers like that's the other thing too like a lot of times you don't be at your best self because you look around and be like, hey, at least I'm doing better than them. You know what I'm saying? And that a lot of y'all listen to us, you might do that, and you might like, well, why ain't I really gotten to where I really want to go? Sometimes you're just sitting around looking at other people, and you're like, well, I ain't where I want to be at, but I ain't where they at, so I feel better
You feel better until you stand next to
until you.
somebody
Oh,
who's
yo,
who's in
hold on.
shape.
You know what? I'm gonna say his name. This guy is Sebastian, right? My trainer. You know, first of all, I'm a heterosexual male married to my woman. Very happy with that. But I'm gonna tell you, this guy Sebastian. The first day your boy worked me out, I found myself looking at him. I found look, hold up. I found myself looking at him, and he was like, "Do more." He's like, "I can't do his accent," but he was just like, "Minimum 8, but try to do 12." And I was like, "All right." And when he was spotting me on the bench, he was leaning over me like, and I'm benching, and all you saw was like his chest and his shoulders helping me with the bar, and I'm sitting there like, "Yo,
Yeah.
this guy looks good." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You can admire
Yeah,
somebody's
no, no,
physical
no. So I'm
appearance.
sitting there and
Yeah.
I'm like, but the thing that tripped me out is, and maybe you could understand this, but like sometimes you see what he did was I see some of my similar body shape and like some elements in him, like my chest shape, my shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got some arms. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh, that's me, but
Defined
that's me. Yeah,
with
that's me
definition.
without the loyal layer. I was like, dang, that's me without the loyal layer. I could see it because it's like I see me, but I see the better version of me, and that's what I'm seeing in my trainer.
Do you think that's why the trainer manager pairs us with certain people? Because I feel like when I work out with my trainer, who's a woman,
Hmm.
like we have the same body shape. Now I don't look like her because she is fit, but she's short.
They might,
Like,
they might be part of it, but yeah,
mm-hmm,
his literally like similar height to me,
mm-hmm.
but his stuff is tight. You know what I'm saying? And I know his stuff is tight because I recognize his wardrobe situation, which is that he always wears that same LA Fitness tight shirt or whatever. You know what I mean? But I still start find myself looking at him then. And I'm like getting inspired, like, oh, that's what I could look like. But anyway, we're working out and your boy asked me, he's like, do you feel the burn? Does it hurt anywhere? And I said it hurts. I can't curse on here, but I said bleep bleep, it hurts everywhere. He started laughing. I said I'm doing bench. I'm like, my toes hurt. I told him, I'm like, my feet hurt. But I'm doing bench. I'm like, everything hurts. And then he looked at me and he was like, no pain, no gain. He says, you're supposed to hurt. That's how we know we're doing something.
Mm,
And then he said, why come here? He said, a lot of people come to the gym and they want to experience, they want to unwind and this, and that. He says, you know what I think about when I think of the gym? And I was like, what? He was like, pain. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I really want to leave her in pain because that's how I know that
well,
I did
clearly
it.
you do,
You
Sebastian.
know what I'm saying? And he was just like, you should look at it like that. You come to the gym to put in that pain, and you
Mm,
want to leave her with that pain, and then you want to come right on back. And he says, if you keep doing that, you're gonna see the results. But come here looking for pain, like in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody ever told it to me like that. Cause I go to the gym and I'm like, oh, I want to work out, I want to get a sweat, you know what I mean? I'm in the mirror, blah, blah, blah. But like I'm gonna go search the pain. If you look at it
right,
like searching the pain, well, then you're gonna do 12 reps instead of 8.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna look for the burn.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm gonna
take
look
that
for it.
same mentality and apply it to the diet.
I know. See, that's it. I know.
Like you
Look,
don't
I
look for the
know.
pleasure.
I know. That's the hard part because food has always been pleasure to me. It's like, you know what I mean? I ain't never been able to shake that part, but nah. That's gonna be the hardest part. Is like
We
because I
can
just
do it.
love to eat. I know
We
we
can do
can.
it.
But my lifestyle a little bit has changed already. I do look forward to getting to the gym. I definitely look forward to my, personal training session or whatever the case may be. Your boy gets on me for drinking water, protein. Like he asks us these questions and he's like, have you had your protein shake? Like accountability, like we all need that. You know what I'm saying? So I come to the gym, he'd be like, have you had your protein shake? His face would be so disappointed when I say no. He's like, but you're working out, you're building muscles, you're on no protein shake. That's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Very straight to it. So it's like sometimes people give you the answer or they give you the model, but we don't follow it. We want to tweak it. We want to, and I'm just being real because I do it. You know what I'm saying? But you want to tweak it. You want to alter it. You want to dumb it down so you can somewhat stay where you were at, even though you're trying to get somewhere else.
Yeah.
But then you wonder why you don't get nowhere else. That's because you're always compromising.
Always compromise.
Always compromising. You know what I'm saying? We just live all the time compromising, which is fine. But compromising comes with something. And when I look at your boy, I'm like, he ain't doing the same compromising that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that we're in there. I'm glad we're doing personal training. You know what I mean? I'm glad we do it together. That's something else we could do together. I'm glad our kids love going there.
Mhm.
And y'all stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? Because we're investing. And it's different now because we're putting money to our mouthpiece. We're not him on YouTube watching pre-recorded videos trying to do it ourselves at the liberty of one day I feel like it, one day I don't. We're paying. And it
Yeah.
ain't cheap.
So how do you feel about like lifting weights, like your posture and everything? Because I know that's improved.
I could tell you that from working out with him, and I don't know how this is going to work in the long term, but I mean, I make enough money where I could make it work in the long term. But he makes me not want to lift weights on my end.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the most comfortable I'm being lifting weights is the last couple weeks because I go back to the gym and I just do exactly what he showed me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like before, I was just kind of looking at something and trying to emulate it, but it's different when somebody does it with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? That's real, man. You watch some like you could watch all day. Somebody got to get in the trenches with you sometimes and show you. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So I work out with him on a Tuesday. I feel mad empowered to go to the gym the next day and like do some more reps of what he showed me because he showed me. It's like I experienced it with him. I've heard the critiques. He showed me, no, that's not right. Fix your back, like, and it's burning in my brain. So like, I
To
don't
get it
mind.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'm glad you said that because when I go to the gym now and work out, lift weights, I only do the things that it showed me.
Same for me. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't that crazy? But before I
Mhm.
would just follow the random video and be like, okay, I could do that. Let's do that. Let's
Yeah.
do that. But who knows how I was doing it? You
Yeah.
know what I'm
For
saying?
me, I knew how to lift weights because I've been training for a while, but it's the machines. I was always intimidated by the machines. But now I actually enjoy the machines because I know what I'm doing. I
Hmm.
know how it's supposed to feel. I know I'm not supposed to have like certain ways, like no chicken wings. Like I can hear my trainer
Right.
telling me.
And your trainer is I hope I could say it like you ain't get all crazy, but your trainer, I mean, let me just get this 5 seconds out, if that's all right with you. Your trainer, whatever her name is,
Mhm.
I noticed her. I ain't gonna lie, probably the same like Sebastian. I walked in and the first I didn't weren't thinking like she's super fine. Like I'm not going crazy with it.
Well, I
But I
pointed her out.
but
I
when
said, "That's
but
my trainer
and I
right
looked
there."
at it and I'm like, damn.
Mhm.
She looks amazing. And like every curve and everything she's got, here's the difference. When you look at somebody and they curves and hips and all that, it's because of working out. It looks different.
It's defined.
It looks different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you could
Yeah.
literally tell, like, oh, if you didn't work out, you'd probably be like a bit rectangle shape. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything she's got is from working out. You could just
Mhm.
tell, like, the curve by the hips is because the waist is literally small,
Yeah.
not because she's, you know what I mean, like super thick or nothing like that.
But that's why I like going to the gym. Like
Hmm.
I didn't. I This is my first time having a gym membership.
Hmm.
So I like being able to look at people and see the work that they're putting in.
Yeah,
And it shows.
yeah.
Like it really shows.
Hey, and the last thing I say, and when it talks about commitment, I don't know if I always say it's the last thing I'm saying, and I just keep saying something. But
Mhm.
shut
You do that. You do that at
up.
meetings too.
All the time. My last one, and then I keep getting.
He
I'm gonna learn how to
Look, we
keep it
had a
short.
meeting yesterday morning. He's like, it's gonna be 30 minutes.
What was it? 35.
I think it was 40. But anyway, I had blocked off an hour because Dex has this thing where he always like, I'm just going. It's gonna be 5 minutes. 20 minutes later, you're like, okay,
You know what that's called? You know what they say back in Miami? What that's called?
what?
Long winded. Long
You know
winded.
what? You are long-winded.
Long winded.
I haven't
Serious.
heard that term in a long time, but
Yeah,
that suits you.
I know. You know what I'm saying? I know. You know, it's so good though. I'm working on it. You know what I mean? I continue to try to work on that. You know what I mean? But shout out Sebastian for his him being my personal trainer. He's been a good fit. You know what I mean? And your boy encourages me, and like it's definitely stuck in my brain that I need to go look for the pain. I need to go look for the challenge, and I need to be diligent. And your boy told me, like, within 4 weeks, you'll see a difference. But you got to be consistent and you got to be diligent. That's kind of what he be saying. You know what I mean? And when I get there, he pushes. And every time I complain, your boy just looks at me. He laughs. This old tree. He looks at me, he laughs, and then he says, "Let's go." And I'll be like, "No." He'd be like, "Let's go." Like that's his thing. He just let's go, and then we go, and then I do another set, and then he'd be like, "One more." Like and he's just very calm. He's like, "You can do it. It's in your mind." You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because your mind, like sometimes you don't know your true limitations even physically if your mind ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind's gonna stop you right there like it always did. That's when it starts hurting, the mind can stop. All right, that's enough. Chill. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? But how do you start looking at it different? Like, nah, I'm gonna go until I can't go no more.
You get in the habit of going until you can't go anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to push past the pain.
Nah, I'm gonna say one last thing about working out that when I realized, and I've realized this for a little while, but definitely more in personal training, like when I get to my last set, I'm always doing the same thing. I think about my son. And this might sound dramatic, but like every exercise we do, the last set is the hardest. So he always be like, this is the mental part. So if I'm benching, if I'm doing curls or whatever, I always just think to myself, my son's watching me.
Mm.
Serious. And I get through the last set. I always envision, and that's just I don't know where that came from, call it the Lord or whatever, but I'll be like, I think about my son and I'm like, all right, if I don't get this one done, I'm failing. And that's like been like my true to God. That's been like my little weird thing in my mind. I get to 5 out of 12 and I start thinking like, oh, my son's here right now. And for some reason I'm been getting to the end. You know what I'm saying? That's been like my the first set or two I kind of can get there even through the pain, through my own physical strength. But the last set is the one where I gotta go somewhere mentally. And that's where I've been going to. I've been thinking about him and like if he was watching, would I want to quit?
Well, because he is watching.
That's the thing. He's not there, but he's watching. But would
Hmm.
I want to quit? So you're him, like you think you could push yourself more. Sometimes you're not pushing yourself as hard as you can. But like think about that person that you really love that looks up to you. Think about that person that means the world to you. You know what I'm saying? And would you put the same effort in front of them? Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes we'll not put the best out there for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to do it for somebody else, like your child or your spouse or whatever. But like, would you quit in front of them? Would you want them quit? The answer sometimes is different. You know what I'm saying? So that's been my motivation there. But anyway, thank you for getting us there. We probably got to get a couple more clients so we feel good about the money situation.
Well, we have a meeting tomorrow, so.
I know. We'll see how that goes. Hey, talk about it. So, as we talk about investing season, we're talking about our bodies. You know what I'm saying? We've been investing in different things. Investing is also not just investing in yourself, but investing in other people. You know what I'm saying? Investing in other things. So, a lot of times you want the Lord to bless you, but you're not willing to bless nobody else. And even though we're climbing and we do have an element of success, we try and get better. Like we be blessing other people too. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And two things were there recently. You know what I'm saying? One is you bumped into your friend at the Safeway,
Hmm.
and I don't remember his name or everything he's got going on, but you invested in his thing.
Hmm.
What was his thing?
He has a entrepreneurial camp.
What's it called? You remember? Or what?
No.
So you know him from like high
I know him
school or
from high
whatever,
school.
right?
He's a podcaster as well, but he has a camp for the youth to teach them how to do a business plan, how to do
Hmm.
entrepreneurship,
I think
social
that's really
media.
good.
Yeah, so
I don't remember the name of what it is, though. I
I
feel
don't
like I'm
remember either,
shortchanging
but
him.
we
Yeah,
didn't. We can come back and say
yeah. Make sure we don't
it.
miss it. But he's doing something for the youth,
Mhm.
and we couldn't afford the minimum
Sponsorship
sponsorship
package.
package. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't stop us from
We still made a nice donation,
donation
sizable
to him.
donation.
You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, wish him all the success. We can bring it back for you so we can show the right love to what you're doing.
But also on top of the donation,
Yeah.
we did um we did say that we would be available to volunteer as well.
Mm.
So yeah. So we may not have the money for the sponsorship, but we do have the time.
And the other thing we ain't did yet, but I think what we're gonna try to do. We had a really good meeting with a potential client. We got another one next week, and this client was talking about all the things that they're trying to do in the community. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They are pastors, like they were out there trying to make movies. They out there trying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like doing so many things for like kids that are out there and like gang violence and stuff like that. And like when you talk to somebody like that, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be real. Success, amazing. Success for yourself, fine. But like there's people out there that are really like trying to make a difference in like life and like the world. You know what I'm saying? They out in low income communities trying to teach programs and stuff like that. They're trying to get people off the streets. You know what I mean? Trying to bring people to the Lord, like people that have missions that are like really from the heart, rather than making money, a whole lot of money or not. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I having this conversation with this guy just kind of opened my eyes of like God's blessing us, and I'm glad we donated, but like let's keep being the type of people that put it back out there, and maybe we get to a point with what we're doing. You know what I mean? Whether it's from this podcast, whether it's from merch that we drop for the podcast, you know what I mean, or anything we're doing, but like I want to do something that support something like that impacts something. So like we sell something, maybe a proceeds goes to a charity or something. Like I really want to
Yeah.
like that's something I realize like I'm missing that, and that's the kind of people we are too. You see what I'm saying? Now we're doing it in little pockets. Um, we invested in like the whole rap school and everything with like Pendulum and that. You see how they're going. Like they continue to go well. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pendulum, Mickey Fax, and all them. That whole concept when I first saw it about a rap university and all that, I thought that was super dope. I'm glad we were able to support that. But I do want us to get to a point where like we can literally impact more than just finances and making money for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's I think that's where it's at. When you talk to somebody that does that, it's like a different type of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
for me, when I look at the ultimate goal,
Mm.
it is philanthropy. To be somebody that makes the money and gives it away.
You ain't never told me that ever, ever. I'm glad to hear you say that, but you ain't never told me something like that. So enlighten me a little bit. Like I know we got a long way to go, but what's some of the things that you wish that maybe we could do? And it ain't even got to be specific, but like you philanthropy. Like what would you want to do? Have you ever
Um
thought about that?
yeah, I would really like to help single parents.
Okay.
Somebody was when I first had Mariah, y'all, I was a single mom. And somebody, a lady I didn't even know like that, like she gifted me with a diaper with diapers for a year. So I had a diaper delivery service. And this was back, I don't even know how she did this because this was back in 2004. But I had diapers for a whole year. It just makes a difference. So I would like to help single parents. Because it's hard. It's hard. So I would like to do that. Um,
Hey, before
I
you even
like
hold on, before you even go any further, because I love you. I see something in your eye right now. I'm gonna ask you about it. I hope you feel
Oh,
comfortable.
okay.
No, I'm gonna ask you because a lot of people that probably listen to us, they know about us together and what we've some of the things we've done since we got together. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all didn't know, Randy was and is, but I would say prior to me was always a superstar to me. And Randy has always been something that you could just sit back. And sometimes you know people like that where you just sit back. They're not perfect or anything like that, but it's something about them, and you're like, I admire you. I see strength in you. That's when I first met you. Then I could just tell you was a star. I could just tell you was confident. I could tell you was independent. I could tell that you could take. I mean, you also let me know here and there, like I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So that helped. That did help. You feel me? Like that did help. Every time you ran and check, hold on. Before I even keep giving you your flowers, you remember how many? You remember them different moments that you checked me along the way? Do I need to go there? Now, let me tell you one. Let me tell you
No,
one.
let me tell
No, 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 no,
no.
no. This girl would check me down. I was down in that level. Hold on. Let me be real.
Down in Atlanta.
Donna, that's just one, but we can talk about
That's
that.
yeah, that's
Down in Atlanta, right? I'm young. I got my company's got me in a hotel down there. I'm working. Da, 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 da. Randy comes down to see me. I don't know what we was arguing
we
about.
so this was well, you got to give context. We
I
were
don't
in a long
remember.
distance
Yeah,
relationship.
well, you good. Go
So
ahead.
because people don't know the story, we were in a long distance relationship for a while. Dexter was in his country, Bermuda, which he refers to as Burmy sometimes on the podcast. And he was flown to Atlanta, Georgia for some sort of work assignment. And I decided to fly down there and meet him. And somehow we got into an argument. I was in his hotel room. Did you try to put me out or something?
I just said you gonna have to go get your own room, like, cause I ain't like I don't remember what you were
Something
saying, but I just
happened.
basically told you like, yeah, you won't be able to stay here.
And I was like, all right, nigga. I get my own room.
Yo, like it was so fast. Like you was just like, I don't need you and your job and your hotel room. I get my own. Da, 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 da. But I admired you for that. I don't know why, but like no, serious, and like that probably made me want you more
You
for
guys
real.
don't make it easy for the man.
That probably made me want you more. Like I ain't gonna lie, man. You was sitting there like I don't need none of this. At that moment, like yo,
Man,
like
you think I can't pay for my
it
own
just
hotel
caught.
room? I
Hey,
got my own money. Like,
but look. This is when we was dating. But even when we got together, like she's the type that will always just remind you that like I don't need you. That's just your thing. Even when I started putting money up, I started contributing to the household or whatever. We was arguing about something one day, and out of nowhere, she was just like, "What do you think? Your $500? Your $500 ain't shit." I'm like,
babe, you can't be cursing on here.
"I'm sorry. You just said the N word. I thought we was cool."
We're black.
True. Hey, but you know what I'm saying? You was just like, your $500 ain't this. You've always been on that thing. I know you got that from your sister too. I tell her all the time. I tell your sister all the time. I'm like, I always know your impact on my wife because when she switches up and lets me know that I ain't nothing and she don't need me for nothing, I'm like, that's you. I know where you got that from. That's you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my mother taught me don't depend on no man.
And
So
you don't.
I didn't.
You
I
don't.
do now,
You
and I rather enjoy it.
but it's still an element there that lets me know that you don't need it if you
No,
didn't
I
have to.
think that there's a respect for me because you know that I can go out and get it too.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all. If I really
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to,
for
but I
sure.
like the submissive wife, husband take care of you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely
Thank you
do.
for the raise to the joint account.
You like how I didn't say nothing?
Hmm.
I didn't want to
Y'all,
say.
so we have so how we do our finances is we do have multiple accounts, but in general we have a joint checking account, a joint savings account, and then we each have our individual accounts that we can spend money however we want to. Just it's for us. So if he want to go get some candy, he gets his candy. Like I'm not looking at the joint account. Like the joint account is for mortgage and bills and family festivities. So he puts a percentage of his paycheck in there, and it hadn't had a raise I don't know in how long.
It's been a while. We
It's
ain't gotta
been
try
the
to quantify it.
no, no. If you think about it, it's been a few years because remember when we went to counseling, couples counseling, and you was putting some money in the account and then the rest you wanted to give me cash.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And we came to the agreement in counseling, like just put the money in the account, the entire amount.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been
5 years, maybe. If you want to go back that far.
so 5 years.
About that.
So
Since
he's
that.
been getting raises every year.
Nah, hey, but hold up, though. You know how you got a raise and it's so little that it's like it don't even count. Like, you know what I mean? So you look at your money and it's like, well, I got a raise, but it's what is it? Like that's kind of the raises I've been getting up until recently. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So he kept them for himself pretty much.
I mean, they were like rounding.
It's fine. It's fine. So
Yeah.
what made you, Dex, decide to give the joint account a raise?
I want you to know I was serious about you and what we
Oh,
were trying to do. You know what I mean? And I just figured that I just try to take the approach of like not needing the money and treat it like I didn't have it before. That's all.
that is so nice. I looked in the account. I said, "Where all this money come from?" And I saw the direct deposit. I was like, "Ooh."
Nah, but seriously, I just wanted you to kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I know technically it's all our money, but it does make a different impact on how
It
you're
does.
using it. And I said, I don't, you know all the numbers, so when I got another, raise and promotion and stuff, and you know how it shakes out. And maybe not the net, but you knew enough to be like, well, he probably could help a little bit more. And I just said, well, I should do that.
Well, I
I
appreciate
didn't
that.
want you to have one thing I didn't want you to have to do is that I wanted to be able to do it without you bringing it up again. So that was like another because you mentioned it once, but you haven't like since then and been like, oh, I ain't seen it go up. I ain't seen so I was just that kind of made me even more just kind of want to just do it and not
Yeah.
you know
Well,
make a
I
big thing
appreciate
out of
that because I do want to be a better steward of the finances.
it.
So, because I used to be very serious, right on top of it, and I've kind of let it. It's just not optimum.
Yeah.
Like right now, I couldn't tell you what you have in retirement, what I have, and I mean, it's nothing bad, but I'm
hmm
just not on top
On
of it,
top of it, like you was, yeah,
like I was.
yeah,
Yeah,
you was on top of it for a minute,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
really on top.
yeah. So that's it.
Maybe you got a little bit more security that I'm taking care of you. It could be that, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit.
But I've had to change too because I used to be on top of it, but that's not good for our relationship because you don't want to hear about money all the time, whether it's good,
For
bad.
real.
Yeah, yeah. So I have to. Oh yeah, I've gotten more comfortable, and I know it's going to get handled, whatever the situation is. So
Well, I appreciate that.
yeah,
You know what I
and I
mean?
see how you are showing me that you trust me and you love me through the financial changes.
Well, that's what you always wanted.
Yeah.
You love me, but can you show me the way that I want to be loved? How do I want to be loved? Financial security.
hmm
Put gas in the car. I put $20 in it the other day. That was something.
Yesterday when I went to my sister's house, it was close to E.
Was it?
hmm
Well, I'm sorry.
And speaking of cars, I'm shopping for a new vehicle.
uh, hey, so yeah, we can invest in that, but it don't sound like you know how you want to do that. You know what I mean?
So, okay. I just so the only debt that we've had since 2021 is the mortgage.
Yep.
It's 2024. And so I thought in my mind I could probably do a car note cuz even though here's my rational thinking.
hmm
Even though it's debt, I'm 40 now and I should be driving something nice. Like the car that I have is okay, especially now since you upgraded me with the system and the like that it's very nice. I got a backup camera now. It's a 2010 Toyota Highlander, guys. So just so you know, this is what I'm currently driving. And I know on the episode before I have said, "Oh, my dream car right now would be like a more modern,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
up to date Highlander." But then I'm like, well, you know what? I'm getting older now. Maybe I should look for luxury. But I want dependability. So now I'm settled on a Lexus. Both my sisters have Lexuses. So I was asking one of them about hers because she has SUV, and she was giving me some information, and then she found like a pre-owned certified. I don't know how that stuff worked, so she sent it to me,
Hmm.
and I saw it was like 36,000, and then my heart was like, oh. And so I'm like, why do I feel this way? It's only like that's not like this is actually a good price for this type of car, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because it's just the debt. Like I don't think I think it could be $10,000, and I'll
But
be like, oh,
but the thing is though, we can't afford it though. That's what people gotta also understand.
yes,
Like when they listening to us, like they don't know all our money situation, but like you're driving a 2010 Highlander.
paid off,
I'm driving a 2012 Toyota Venza that takes
paid
air
off.
out the back. You know what I'm be whistling when you drive down the street. But they both paid off. You know, we ain't owe no money, ain't paying every month on it. But we could just live different than that. We both could have nice cars with notes on it and be working it out and probably be stressed a lot more about finances because we make the decision to have our kids in private school. So and all our kids cost money to go to school that are in school. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like all three of the boys cost money to go to school. So that's a big part of it's like another mortgage putting
it
these guys in
is.
school. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we could make a different choice there and say, hey, we can put them in public school and then you could go get that car real quick and probably not feel the way about it. But we're not
No, but I think
doing
I
that.
would though because when I think about direct deposit or automatic withdrawal, whatever it is, of 5, 6, 7, $800 a month, it like I literally feel sick.
But here's the thing
Cause
though.
what could you do with that?
But see, that's the type of woman you are though. Cause on the other hand, like you said, you been 40. I'm sitting there as a man, and I'm like, my wife fine as I don't know what. I want to see you hopping out of a luxury vehicle and and this is the man pride thing. But like I've been thinking, like I want that for you. I could deal with driving the older car, or whatever. Like you know what I'm saying. But I'm like, dang, am I selling my wife short? Cause you're out here in this 2010 truck where the window don't work. Am I like not giving you you know what I'm saying, the experience in life that you should get because we're living this type of way? Because look at you, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like look at you, you know what I mean? Like you could be hopping out of a Benz and like looking right. You know what
And
I'm
be sick
saying?
to my stomach every month when I have to pay the car note.
I know, but that's like most people don't care about
I
that.
know.
You know what I'm saying? But you do. So what are we gonna do then? You know what I'm saying? Because as much as I might want to do something for you, you might want something. It sounds like you got like a core belief system for real
I
that's
just
not gonna let you enjoy it.
yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
So we gotta do something else. We continue to invest. Basically, we're staying in this investing season, even by not buying that car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're really so I think instead of if we're not gonna buy it and we're not gonna take on that debt, we should talk more about why. You know what I'm saying? And like what do we really, really want? Because that truck, that luxury vehicle, you don't really, really want it that much.
Right.
You want it, but you don't want it that much. But
The
there's got
benefits does not outweigh the cost.
right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, amazing. That's crazy. But we gotta figure out what we're doing with it. But I
Yeah.
do think that hey, the last shoot, we might need a part three to this, but like the investing season thing that I want to end off with real quick is I've outside of the car, I've been dreaming a lot. I've been dreaming a lot lately. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean going to bed dreaming. I do that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like investing in yourself, but also starting to dream again. Like big dreams. Not like just wishes or like enhancements, but like big dreams. Like I'm back in this big dream type of situation. I find myself getting excited talking about big dreams. And one of the big dreams I have, just gonna drop it here right now, is having my own soccer or football association and my own complex, my own land, my own venues. Like we've been talking about people coming and having tournaments at our venue. You know what I'm saying? And we was talking about selling food that we like. Just these conversations we're having
Mhm.
about like that are like they're big. They're like way further than where we are right now. But all these years we've been married, we ain't really been having them conversations, but we're having them a lot now. And I think this is all part of like where we are for our life, and I'm excited about it. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but like I find that I'm getting excited about talking about this big dream that I can't see how I'm gonna do it, but I could tell like, whoa, this feels different than anything I'm ever been talking about the last 12 years or so. When I came out of school, I had this perception of what success would be, and I got to do these exams and this and that. And now I'm like, dang, what do I really want for myself? Because I look at my career, I'm like, man, I'm did it. I'm successful. Like I'm did it, but I'm not satisfied. But these big dreams we've been having, I'm like, this is bringing something different out of me. You know what I'm
Because it's
saying?
you. It's
Yeah, and
all
I'm
you.
like, that's gonna be in a part three probably when we talk more about that. I don't know if we will, man, whatever. But pray for me, guys. I'm dreaming big right now. Randy's dreaming big. We feel this sense of urgency in life, you know what I mean? And life is good. Live life for every day. But if you're really trying to do something with it, you got to put a little sense of urgency on it because before you know it, 5 years, it's 10, it's 15, and then it's 20, maybe. And then eventually it's just something you look back on that you never did. And I think that's what's been on your mind too of like, I don't want to look back and never did, never try. You know what I'm saying? I think we're fixing that right now for sure. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I was thinking this morning about social media,
Hmm.
and I'm thinking I might make it a bigger deal than what it actually is.
Really? Is that what we did? I can't tell you that.
I know. I'll be making it like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go on live. And I'm like, I was thinking about it this morning and just like you can probably use your platform to do a whole lot more than what you're doing and stop making it such a big deal.
I'm telling you. And you know what? I could tell you right now, and I miss it. I miss your lives anymore. I realize they have become part of my routine to like see you go make coffee in the morning and talk about what you got going on. And I don't know if that was happening for anybody else, but as soon as you stopped, I noticed it.
Yeah.
And I ain't just saying it because it's you, but like literally, I was looking forward to your lives. You go in there. Some days you're happy, some days you're man stressed, but you was always making your coffee and talking about your day. And I got used to starting my day with you like that.
What do you think about live piano lessons?
Um,
I mean, piano practice.
Go right ahead. Oh, we gotta talk about that. We got a new piano. Listen, yo, this is investing season part two. We gonna have a part three. You know what I mean? Because we've been investing in so much. We talked today. We've been investing in our bodies. We've been investing in our family. We've been investing in other people's businesses, our own
The
businesses,
podcast.
the
Yeah.
podcast. We on new mics today. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But we got a new piano. It's just we been doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing a lot, but it's all because of where we are right now. We really know that me and Randy are special people. And we don't say that a lot because we're very humble people, but in all honesty, you and I got something really special. And you was already amazing before I met you. And I didn't know it, but I'm sure I was amazing too. But like me and you together, we are special. And I feel that more and more. And we have a lot to offer people. And you know what? As you go through the ups and downs of life, learn a lot from me and Randy. You know what I mean? We literally do everything together. And if you're him and you don't know about your money situation or your business situation or how your health or being a mother, I mean, Randy's did it. Randy's been a solo single mother. Now she's had to figure out how to work with me for all these years. You know what I'm saying? But go through the ups and downs with us and you can learn a lot from us, man.
We'll talk about it.
We'll
We'll
definitely
help
talk
you.
about it. You know what I mean? And a shout out to my stepmama for always keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I'll bring her up again, but I love you for always being able to see me for who I am and being a big person to make me better and where I'm at today. You know what I mean? If you got somebody in your life like that, make sure you're listening to this episode. Shoot them a text, shoot them a call. Thank them for being that person that will call you out on your crap to help you actually be better.
And share this episode.
And share this episode, you know what I mean? And make sure that you follow the Dex and Randi Show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, you know what I mean? Subscribe. Make sure you're on YouTube. Hit your notifications. Like, we're dropping all our episodes and clips and all of these different platforms. So just make sure you follow us as we grow our platform. And until next time, peace. Make sure you follow the Dex and Randi Show on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on YouTube. Let us know what you're going through. This is the #1 show for going through the ups and downs of life. We want to hear from you, engage with you. Till next time, peace.